Here is your full, long, emotional story written exactly in the style you requested: smooth pacing, strong hook, deep emotions, relatable characters, and perfect for a 40-minute YouTube narration. No headings, no breaks, just pure storytelling in long, cinematic paragraphs. On every Christmas Eve, wrapped in the quiet glow of her giant but empty penthouse, CEO Maria Ellington sat alone at a long dining table built for 12 yet never used by anyone but her. The city sparkled outside her floor-to-ceiling windows, but inside her heart there was only silence, years of it. She waited every year, pretending someone might knock, someone might remember, someone might come back. But no one ever did. And this year, when she placed a single candle on the table and whispered, maybe this time, she already knew the answer. No one was coming. She was a woman admired by millions but loved by none. At least, that was the life she knew, until the knock that changed everything came from the most unexpected people on earth. The moment the knock echoed softly through her empty home, Maria froze. She thought it was her imagination at first. She hadn't heard a knock on Christmas Eve in more than 9 years. Her trembling steps carried her to the door, and when she opened it, she found a tired, shivering single dad named Harris and his little daughter Lana standing in the cold. Their clothes were worn, their eyes carried stories of pain, and a half-broken gift bag was clutched in the child's hands. Maria didn't understand it, she had never seen them before. They had no reason to be at her door. But when Lana lifted the small bag toward her and whispered, "My daddy says you help people, so maybe you can help us just for tonight," something inside Maria cracked open. Harris, embarrassed and hesitant, explained that they had been evicted just hours ago. He had been working 2 jobs but still couldn't keep up with rent after a medical emergency took most of his savings. They had been walking for hours, looking for any shelter, but everything was full, and Lana was starting to cough from the cold. They weren't there to beg, they were there because a neighbor told them Maria was powerful, kind, and alone. Maria's eyes filled with tears, though she tried to blink them away. The pain this father carried reminded her of her own father, a man who once worked endlessly to give her everything, even when it broke him. She didn't think twice. She welcomed them in. Inside her warm penthouse, Lana ran to the glowing Christmas tree. It was breathtaking but lifeless, decorated by professionals, not by love. Harris apologized over and over for intruding, but Maria insisted they were safe, warm, and exactly where they needed to be. As she watched them settle in, she couldn't explain the quiet joy blooming in her chest. It had been years since anyone had stepped foot inside her home for Christmas. Years since laughter moved through the halls. Years since she felt her heart beating for something real. Dinner that night was the first warm meal Harris and Lana had in days. Lana giggled at the taste of marshmallows in her hot chocolate, and Maria felt something melt inside her chest. Harris, noticing her emotional distance, gently asked why she was spending Christmas alone. Maria tried to shrug it off, but the truth poured out of her. Her family had drifted away, success had replaced connection, and she had climbed a mountain only to discover there was no one waiting at the top. Harris listened, not judging, not pitying, just understanding. And that was something Maria hadn't felt from anyone in a very long time. Later that night, when Lana fell asleep on the couch, wrapped in a blanket too big for her tiny body, Maria and Harris talked for hours. Their stories were different, but their losses were the same. He had lost his wife to a car accident 3 years earlier, and since then, he had been trying to be both parents while holding life together with threadbare strength. Maria felt tears she hadn't released in years trail down her face as Harris admitted how hard it was to smile for Lana when he felt broken inside. She gently told him he wasn't failing, he was surviving. And sometimes survival was the greatest act of love. When the clock struck midnight, Lana woke up, rubbed her eyes, and placed the little gift bag into Maria's hands. "This is for you," she said. Inside was a tiny paper angel, handmade, crooked, but beautiful. "I made it at school. Teacher said angels visit lonely people for Christmas. So I wanted you to have one." Maria felt her soul break open. She dropped to her knees and hugged Lana tightly, whispering, "Thank you, I didn't know how much I needed this." The next morning, instead of waking up alone in silence, Maria woke up to the smell of pancakes, burned ones, obviously made by Harris and Lana trying their best. She laughed, genuinely laughed, maybe for the first time in a decade. Christmas morning felt alive, like a memory she had once abandoned but was now returning home to. She told Harris and Lana they could stay as long as they needed, and though Harris protested, she insisted. It wasn't charity, it was healing, for all of them. Over the next few weeks, their presence transformed Maria's home. Lana filled every corner with drawings, laughter, questions, and stories. Harris repaired things around the house Maria didn't even know were broken. And Maria, slowly and softly, began to feel like she wasn't living in a mansion anymore, she was living in a home. She helped Harris find a stable job within her company, not because she pitied him, but because she saw his work ethic, his resilience, and the way he refused to give up. She admired him for that. And Harris helped Maria reconnect with the world outside her emotions, teaching her simple joys, cooking together, watching movies, walking through the park without bodyguards or pressure. One evening, while they decorated a Christmas tree together, this time with real, imperfect, handmade ornaments, Maria overheard Lana whisper to her father, "Daddy, I think she's less lonely now because she has us." And Maria turned away to hide her tears, because the little girl was right. For the first time in years, she wasn't waiting for someone who would never come. She finally had people who were already here. Christmas came again a year later. But this time, when the clock struck midnight, Maria didn't sit alone at a long dining table. She was with Harris and Lana, sitting close, laughing, eating, living. And when Harris gently placed his hand on hers, she didn't pull away. She let warmth in. She let love in. She let life in. And Maria realized something powerful, that sometimes the family we need is not the one we were born with, but the one that knocks on our door when we least expect it, carrying nothing but hope, courage, and a little broken gift bag that ends up healing everything.